Financial Modeling, Topic 15, Option Contracts, Valuation and Hedging by Lou Gaddis. References include Financial Modeling 4th edition by Simon Benninga, chapters 15, 17, 18, 25, 26, 29, and 30, and these cover an introduction to options, option valuation models, simulation, and Monte Carlo methods. Section 1, Understanding Option Contract Terms and Compute Call and Put Payoffs and Profits. So let's talk about an option contract. A call option is simply a contract to buy an asset in the future in which the asset, the price, the quantity, and delivery location are all specified in the contract. The owner of this call has the choice to exercise the option, pay the exercise price, also known as the strike price, and take delivery of the asset. Now, the seller of that call option has the obligation to deliver the asset if the buyer exercises. Now, a put option is simply the same contract. However, this is an option to sell an asset in the future. So the owner of a put has the choice to exercise the option, receiving the exercise price, and delivering the asset. The seller of that put is obligated to take delivery and pay the exercise or strike price. So what you see is each one of these options, a call and a put, will have a price. Unlike a forward contract, these options have an upfront cost that gives that owner the option to back out. Some option characteristics. Again, you have a call or put option. You need to know the underlying asset. What is actually delivered. Is it a stock, a bond, a currency, a commodity, or even a futures contract? What is the cost of the option, also called the premium or price of the option? What is the maturity? Over what period of time do you have this option to buy or sell? The exercise price. There are two standard types. There's the European exercise type and American exercise type. A European exercise type would say an example of a 1-year call option. If it's European, on that maturity date, 1 year, say from today, you have that option to either exercise and buy or simply allow it to expire unexercised. If that were an American style option, you'd have every day during the life of the option to make that decision. So you could exercise on the first day or 50th day or a year from now if this is a 1-year option. Options, you also need to know the strike price, also known as the exercise price. This is the price for a call option in which you would pay, and if it's a put option, you would receive when delivering the asset. Related to that concept is the moneyness of the option. So we say options are at the money. What that means is that strike price is equal to the current spot price of the underlying asset. Now, in some cases, we will use the forward price as the at the money strike price. And I'll show you that's more later. In the money options. All right, so at the money means that the spot price is equal to the strike price, or maybe the strike price is equal to the current forward price. And in the money option generally means that if you exercised it today, the owner of the option would make money, which means for a call, that strike is below the spot, and for a put, that strike is above the spot. So a call is in the money is if you exercise it and buy that underlying asset at the strike price, you get to get it at a discount to the spot. You get to get it cheap. And if we're a put is in the money, and if you exercised it and you sold that asset at a strike price above the spot, in other words, you get to sell it at a premium. Out of the money options mean that you would not, at the current period, exercise the option, which means that for a call, the strike is above the spot, and for a put, the strike is below the spot. Let's talk about the payoffs and profits of options and compare that to forward contracts, which is just the section we just finished, or the topics we just finished in the last topics. So we talked about a long forward. A long forward is simply a contract to buy an asset in the future in which you agree to pay that forward price, and we say that the payoff for the owner or for the long party or the buyer of that forward contract, the payoff is whatever the spot price of the asset is at maturity minus the forward price times the quantity specified in the contract. And that long party is obligated to take delivery and pay the forward price. Now, for a call, one way of thinking about a call is simply a long forward in which you have the option to walk away. So, if you own the call, if you're the buyer of a call option, instead of getting ST minus F times Q, we just rename that F and call that the strike price, and I usually use K or X as the variable for the strike price, and say that you will get, if you exercise that call, you will get a payoff of ST minus the strike. However, you can always walk away. So the worst case is you get zero profit, zero cash flow at maturity because you walked away. So how we do that mathematically is we say the payoff is if you exercise, if ST is above the strike and you exercise, you get ST minus the strike. However, if you walk away, you get zeros. So mathematically, we say that's the max of zero, ST minus the strike, or zero times the quantity. So it's simply taking whatever's greater. And then what it turns out is if this number turns out to be a negative, it simply defaults as a max to zero. If ST is greater than strike, then it mathematically picks up this positive number and multiplies times Q, and that's what we use in Excel. So the profit for an option is a little bit different than this. This is the payoff of the option. The profit, all we do is subtract off the cost of the option. So if you paid C dollars for that call times 100 calls, you would take C times 100. So the difference between payoff and profit is the payoff is simply the cash flow at maturity. The profit is the cash flow at maturity, which is the payoff minus the cost. And it follows for a forward contract. If you're short the forward, in other words, you're the seller in the forward contract, your payoff is F minus ST times Q. You're obligated to deliver and receive the forward price. If you, however, own a put, you're the buyer of a put or you're long the put, your payoff is very similar. Instead of F minus ST, it's the strike minus ST, or zero if you choose to walk away. And then the profit of that put is the max of X minus ST, or 0 times the quantity, minus what you paid for the option, where P is the put premium. So this is an understanding of option contract terms and how to compute call and put payoffs and profits.